Hi fifth graders, welcome back to our taco truck project. Today is day 6 and today we're going to be building the 3D appliances and furniture that are going to be going inside of your truck. So let's take a look at some examples of what this furniture is going to look like. Let me get to these photos. Here we go. So here's the exterior as you've seen. Interior walls and interior base. Hopefully at this point you have most of this completed. Exterior of your truck, if you haven't had it all designed yet, that's okay. You'll have time to color today and over the weekend and into Monday. So today we are working on building the furniture or appliances that are going to go inside of your truck. So see how these are 3D models using the grid line paper and they're colored over? That's what you're going to be doing, so that once you place these all in there, you actually have a physical 3D model of what the inside of the truck is going to look like. So here would be an example with one of the walls off. You can see that there are cabinets on top, a stove, a little mini fridge, a sink, some cabinets, and so on. Okay, we have a garbage can, a sign. We have details on the truck that really make it pop and stand out, and that's what we're going for. Okay, so let's go back up to how we're going to build it. All right, so you have some gridded paper, and what you're going to do is make sure that the furniture size matches what you created in your truck. So what I mean by that is you're going to use the dimensions that you used here to help guide you. So for instance, if you created a supply cabinet that was 9 square units in area, then when you draw it, you're going to make sure that the base of it is 9 square units in area. Okay, so it says first, make sure your furniture size matches what you created in your truck. Second, 3-dimensional means you'll have to design on all sides or most of them. Minecraft and Legos are good examples. So here you'll see we have a net drawn. Don't cut out the net until you're sure you have enough squares to create the physical object. So, for instance, if this were a countertop, this would be what the top would look like, okay? Now, we need to think about the height. If you want it to be 1 cube tall, you're going to make all of this side at least an extra cube on the end so that you can fold it right at this crease, and this will be the height, okay? Same thing here. This right here, it's 2 units wide because when we fold up this little piece along the edge, this is going to become the wall so that it's 3-dimensional. This would be the wall, this would be the wall, and this would be the base. Now, one thing to think about is that if it's going on the floor, you don't necessarily need to have a top and a bottom to your prism. What I mean by that is you don't need to cut out an extra rectangle to cover the top of it. Because when you fold this, you'll have a base and then you'll have the 4 walls, but you won't have like a cover or a bottom, okay? So if it is against the floor will be your bottom, okay? This could be the top. So you could design the top of the stovetop right here, pretend these are the grates for the stove, and then when you fold these, you would fold them down so that it's standing up, okay? Don't cut out the net until you're sure you have enough. Map out what you need. Tape the shapes together. You can try glue, but it might not work as well, especially since it's such thin paper. So for this counter, it says I would cut out my dotted line and tape the 4 sides together. So you would cut along the dotted edge. Do not cut these edges unless you want to do a lot more taping. Only cut along the dotted edge and then you will fold it together. Don't get discouraged. This is a very difficult element of design. It will take you a while to master it, but you can do it. So you might have a few that don't work out, and that's okay. If you created walls, make sure you add those. Remember, you may have a better way to make 3D appliances and furniture. Do what works best for you. So if you find a different method that you like better than this, that's perfectly fine. Here are several sheets of graph paper that you can use to cut out your shape. So if I wanted to make let's say a sink. Let's say I wanted to make a sink, okay? I would create my base first. I would first draw my base. It would be a rectangle, let's pretend. Then I would have to draw the walls of my sink. So what is the front of my sink going to look like? Let me see if I am able to, I don't think I'm able to draw on this. I'll post a picture of maybe a sample. Actually, you know what I can do is I can pause this and get my visualizer and show you what I mean. Okay, so I've sort of makeshifted my own, so because I don't have grid paper. So what I did was I drew, say this is my countertop, and this would be my base, okay? I want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units wide and 3 units long, okay? Or 3 units long and 6 units wide, either way, it doesn't matter. So my area is going to be 18 square units. So let's say you had a cabinet and your area was 18 square units. You need to think about how tall you want your cabinet to be. Now I wanted my cabinet to be 2 units tall. So you'll see I highlighted this so you could see that this is the top of my countertop. These are going to be the edges because with my net I'm going to fold along those edges just like this. Now mine's not perfect because like I said I had to draw it, so it's not a perfect rectangle. Okay, now I folded along my edges and you can see that these are the walls. When I put them together, I would tape along these edges so that I have a box that can stand up, and this would be my cabinet, okay? So you have to make sure that along your edges, see, that's 2 units tall, 2 units tall, 2 units tall, and 2 units tall. So along each edge, you want to make sure that you have a wall that you can fold down so that you have the top of your counter or the top of your stove or however long you want it to be. Now, if you want them to be 3 units tall, then you would just go out an extra row. So it would be 1, 2, 3 units tall. Same thing. 1, 2, 3 units tall. I just chose 2 because I figured it was decent enough, but it can be taller than that if you want. Then you're going to fold it and tape your edges together, just like this, okay? So that's what you're going to do for all of your components. All right, let's see. Now you've already gotten a head start on coloring your outside, your exterior, hopefully. Make sure that you're only using crayons or colored pencils because markers will tend to bleed through. And look at some examples of some taco trucks that you've seen if you get stuck and you can't think of any ideas. Remember that you're going to have to put a window counter so you can cut the entire side or create a flap fold-up section, just like we see, oops, here. You can cut a little flap so that it opens up. Here they put a little piece of paper, it looks like, or cardboard to stand it up. You don't have to have an awning, but I suggest it because this way when you are ready to close up shop for the night, you can just close the awning and your side of your truck will be closed. Okay, now let's go back. Tires and sides. Decide on tires and where to put them. On the side of the truck, you can add the business name, logo, and other marketing ideas. Windows and doors, if you're up to the challenge, try cutting out where you have windows, be patient, and work slow. So if you want to cut out the windows, you can. If not, you can just draw them. Then try to think about other little details. Maybe you want to include a garbage can on the sidewalk, tables and chairs, signs, hanging lights, cones, people. Your options are unlimited. Make this business come alive. Add in those extra details that will make it look realistic, okay? So at the end, you should have something like this. Your walls will all be put together and designed to look like the exterior of a truck with tires, with windows, with doors, and with a counter window where people can come up and order. Like I said, you can add flags to make it look cool. You can add garbage cans. You can add signs. Make sure that the name of your business is at least on the side of the truck. And then you will have your interior with all of your 3-dimensional pieces inside. So it should look something like this when you're finished, okay? Something along these lines. If you ever need to refer back to this, you may, and you will have also on Monday to continue building. So if you don't finish today, that's okay. Just make sure you get a good head start.